Hey, I'm Enrique, artist and illustrator. Today I'm going to go over basically a big problem that people have in art, and that is kind of the feeling of dread that you have kind of while you're drawing that makes you stop drawing. This problem is really big and affects a lot of people. It affects you. Definitely stick around. I'm going to talk about this for no more than 10 minutes, so let's jump right into it, okay? Before that, don't forget to hit the subscribe and click the bell notification. I give out lots of art advice, art tutorials, and I post here every couple of days, so jump right in, all right? So this came from a comment from Bobby A. I'm going to read it just straight out for you guys. It is, I don't know how to overcome this problem that I have with drawing, which is my brain constantly criticizing me that what I'm producing is rubbish, and it'd be better for me just to stop right now, right then and there. I like to draw, but when my brain starts yelling at me that what I'm producing isn't good, my anxiety just kicks in, and I end up doing something else entirely. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I even wrote them down. So let's hop pretty much right off the bat. My history, and I've talked about this before. I started drawing roughly 17 or 19. I can't remember when I started, but actually I had to be after high school. So it had to be like 18 and 19 I started drawing. One of those. And I started getting really good really fast. I started drawing with an instructor, by the way. So I was kind of nurtured all the way up. And that cuts a lot of time off your learning. And at the 2-year mark, I stopped. I stopped getting good. I just kind of hit this roadblock, and it had nothing to do with anything technical. It was 100% mental. Literally my brain self-sabotaged myself, right? So I ended up quitting completely. Just completely quit, you know? I wanted this to be my career, but I was like, forget it. It's over. And I was gone for, I think, another year or 2 years. I just completely left. Didn't draw anything, and I was like, well, I'm done with this. I'll go into something else. And after that 1 to 2 year mark, I can't remember how long it was, I came back to that school to start learning again, kind of for fun. And I was way better than before. I hadn't practiced in 2 years at all, but I was way better. And I'm like, what happened? And I noticed that because one of my teachers was like, hey, you're better. I don't know what you've been doing over that break, because he remembered me. I don't know what you've been doing, but keep doing it. And I was like, whoa, what is that? So that comes to my first point. And I don't know, everybody has different, mental issues, but I'm going to say 4 of these that might help you out. And hopefully some apply. Let me know if they do. First one is get rid of any attachment to expectation. Okay, so for me, I was expecting to be a pro artist by the 3rd or 4th year. I was making some money at the 2nd year, but I was expecting to be at a certain level by year 3 or year 4 because of the way I was progressing. I was too attached to that result, way too attached to that result, that I didn't even have fun drawing anymore. It was literally 100% about the result, and that is it. Literally, that was it. It was just like, I want this, I want that end result, that's it. I don't care about, and drawing became not just not fun, it became like this chore, I was pushing through. And that's where that huge negative voice that I think other people are getting, that's when that started coming through. Hard, really hard. And it was like, stop this, you're trash, junk like that. That's where that was released. So that would be one thing to try out. Let go of expectation. I don't know what, everybody has different expectations at what skill level. Just try to let that go. And that's not going to be instant, right? This is little personality things you have to work on. But maybe instead of letting go, you can try maybe focusing on the process, and I've talked about that as well. So a lot of the idea is you're focused too much on the end goal, you're too much on the result. Change that focus right there if you can, slowly over time. Maybe what you're doing, it's going to come back, don't worry. Try gradually training your mind to focus on the process, the actual process of it. And you're going to get to that goal whenever you get to it, right? Because you love the process. It's like playing a video game. I forgot who said that. It's like you're playing a video game. You don't focus on beating it. Yeah, of course you beat it. You're like, cool, your little accomplishment there. But really, you had fun playing the game, upgrading your skill. That's the train your mind to start shooting. What is it, serotonin or whatever, into your brain. And literally, the only thing you can do is try to gradually focus your mind in that direction. So one of the greatest metaphors I thought for anxiety and things like that. I forgot what the book is called. If I remember it, I'm going to put it on the screen. But they talk about your mind being like an elephant you're guiding. And that's kind of something, this is a good way to think of this. So if you're guiding your mental elephant from the outside. You're guiding your brain one direction. It's going to start, when you're guiding an elephant, it's going to go one direction and you can't really stop it. I mean, you can kind of stop it, but it'll be slow working. You're going to have to be slowly working and training it to another goal in order to go back the other direction. I'm going to try to put that book in the description. I don't remember the name of that book, but hopefully by the time I edit this, I will. Future Enrique will edit that for you. Another thing you can keep in mind is you have to know that it's going to take years. This is a skill, right? Like anything else. It's going to take years to get good at this. Even best case scenario. I mean, I've seen prodigies and stuff like that, but those are super rare. And even those people take years to work. I've seen like where it's like a little kid can draw this, blah, 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 blah. They're still not good enough to work usually. Almost always. Like people that were the best artists in my class, they still weren't good enough to work. So just kind of keep in mind, whatever you do, it's going to take years. If you want to shorten it, get a teacher that you think is competent. Go join a Patreon. I don't have a Patreon right now, but if I did, I'll have one eventually. Maybe future Enrique will share his Patreon later. But just a teacher can look at you need someone to look at your work if you're concerned with that. That'll also kind of alleviate that too, right? Someone else, if you can't objectively look at your stuff, which again, that's a skill as well. You should start doing if you're not already doing it. But getting another teacher, like someone who's an artist who's better than you, I wouldn't get like anybody, because people just give crummy advice if they're not artists, in my opinion. But they can't tell you if it's nice or not, whatever. But you need constructive criticism, meaning a teacher can look at it and be like, okay, that leg is weird, and he can tell you why. Where like if I ask my mom or whoever, my sister, they're going to be like, that's nice, that's not nice. And I'll be like, cool, what can I fix? And they're going to be like, I don't know, right? Teacher would help you out. It'll also give you a little bit more confidence that you're going in the right direction. That's another thing. Sorry, I'm a little gas here. It'll give you more confidence you're going in the right direction. And that's another thing that'll kind of silence that voice, because you'll know, you're doing it. You're going that direction. And I would say take your emotions completely out of it. That's the last thing. Think about, and I've talked about this in the last video I did. Now when I draw so much, right, that it is not an emotional thing anymore, because there's so much to pull from. If I drew once every month, yeah, it'd be a huge thing for me, because I don't it's so rare, this event that I draw, and if I screw up, I'm like, man, that's that month. I only get around to this like once a month. But if you're drawing every day, or you're drawing like 3 or 4 times a week, if I screw up a session, and I still screw up sessions, guys, it doesn't matter. If you're a professional, you're still gonna have crummy drawing days. If I screw up a session now, it's like, oh, I ruined one of my 2 days. Like, and even then you can look at it in a positive light. Well, at least I got that out of my system, So the more you draw, you kind of start grinding down. Even if you have that voice, you start grinding down. I mean, in combination with knowing you're slightly going the right direction with a teacher, which would help, you're grinding down that feeling. You're desensitizing that feeling and just kind of doing. I no longer get highs and lows. I no longer get that. And I've talked about that in almost every video, and I'm going to keep talking about it. Like, when I sit down and draw, it's a drawing of habit. It's a habit. I judge it objectively. I'll be like, okay, that was a crummy drawing day. Oh, I did pretty good. Huh, I'm onto something here. And then you do something good, and then when you come back, you're like, oh, I can't do it anymore. How do I replicate that? And you try to do it again. And I just kind of look at it like I'm looking at it from the outside. Again, like that elephant you're guiding, right? It's your brain. And I just look at myself from the outside, and I don't attach my emotions to what I'm doing. Obviously, you can make emotional drawings, right? Like drama in your drawings, but you don't attach like your whole worth and value on how you did that day. Everything I'm saying is a slow process. Your brain is malleable. You can change behaviors by looking at them a different way, like some of the things I talked about early in this video. You can change this, but it's not going to be like a one-day thing. You can just gradually change the habitual habits you have in your mind and how you look at stuff. And it sounds really woo-woo, but it's true. Like, when I came back, I was so much better because I had completely taken my emotions out of it. I had been gone from that scene so long that I was able to progress again because I didn't have my emotions wrapped up in that result anymore. Anyways, that's it. I hope that helped you a little bit. I understand how hard it is, especially at the kind of that beginner stage. It is so, or even the intermediate stage. And I still have it with a couple of things right now, but it's not a big deal anymore, right? I'll struggle with certain painting things right now, but I'm like, that's fine. I'll do it. You know, I'll get that. I'll look at it, get a teacher. I'll hire somebody to look at it, right? And you just kind of look at it like business as usual. I'm not gonna, you know, you don't hurt from it. And if you really have to do it, just strong arm it. Draw every day. Draw something every day. Draw like a picture every day. And if it comes out crummy, oh well. It's a learning process. That like I said, if you gotta brute force it, that's kind of that last one. You can use some or all of these ways to do it, and I've used all of them at different times, and different things will work at different times based on sometimes as our human behavior changes or where you're progressing. But anyways, I hope that helps somebody. I will see you next time. You know, I gotta make like a name for everybody on this website that watches this page, but thank you so much. I will see you next time in the next video. If you have an issue